KATC Weather Lab. Here's Rob's forecast.
Welcome back. Well, the heat is back on. Typical summer weather over the next couple of days. The tropics certainly heating up. And unfortunately, this is an anniversary of a big Louisiana storm, Hurricane Andrew, after pounding Florida as a Cat 5. It made landfall here on this date, roughly about 50 minutes from now at 11 o'clock at night on August 26th. And we'll show you that right now. In fact, let's look at the track of Andrew. Back 27 years ago, we thought it was going to be a tropical wave that was going to run out of gas, fall apart right here, move out to sea, but a subtropical ridge of high pressure came in, forced the system to the west. It bombed out, went across Florida and then into Louisiana, making landfall as a Cat 3 storm. Officially, it was about a 2.5 though through St. Mary Parish, but the people into St. Mary Parish will tell you it was a Cat 3 for them. Very high wind gusts down to a Category 1 still when it made the I-10 corridor, and then a tropical storm as it pushed off to the north and northeast. So very intense storm with wind gusts over 100 miles an hour from St. Mary Parish all the way up through Lafayette Parish. This 120 was at the Franklin Courthouse, 108 in Morgan City, 90 in New Iberia. The range officially out at the Lafayette Airport was 71, but a gust to 104 reported on top of the EOC downtown in Lafayette, and 71-mile-an-hour gust in Baton Rouge. A lot of damage to the Atchafalaya Basin, too, with this system on top of really smashing St. Mary, Iberia, and St. Martin parishes. And this is the way the visible satellite imagery looked before it made landfall that night. Again, 27 years ago on this date. Now, the tropics are busy. We'll get to that in just a bit. Locally for us, that deep tropical moisture finally pushing to the east, but in its wake, low-level moisture. Dew points are high in the upper 70s, so very uncomfortable across the area tonight. Now, we do have a tropical depression. This is TD number 6, 35-mile-an-hour winds. Not looking like it's really going to go, but should become tropical storm Erin. Folks up in the Canadian Maritimes may have to watch that system. Meanwhile, we have a small tropical storm here, and that's going to be the key for this system to survive. It's been fighting dry air around it, still with 50-mile-per-hour winds, and going through portions of Barbados. Some power outages here, but the worst of the storm just north of the islands. It's going to go through the Windward Islands later on tonight through tomorrow morning, and then it's going to get into the Caribbean Sea, and unfortunately it's going to be coming dangerously close to Puerto Rico. Even if they don't get the highest winds, they're going to get some heavy rain bands and gusty winds associated with a hurricane for sure. This is going to be a Cat 1, and this is the needle thread right here going right in between Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic. Again, a lot of mountains here, so the storm usually and will likely get disrupted and go back down to a tropical storm. But I was just looking at the hurricane models before coming on air, and although the official forecast track has this as a tropical storm, I think it has hurricane potential here if it makes it through Hispaniola without getting torn apart. And if we watch our moisture, we see a potential Erin moving off to the north. There's our tropical system to the south. Drier air coming in for Thursday into Friday, but watch the tropical models and the European model moisture as we get to the Bahamas. This is this weekend, and then perhaps South Florida, and some of the models have this system going into the eastern Gulf of Mexico. So something that we'll have to keep an eye on just in case down the line. Not a direct threat, and we'll see how it plays out over the next several days. Quiet through tomorrow morning. During the day, quiet. A few spotty showers in the afternoon. We'll go with rain chance at about 30%. As we head into Wednesday, that's when we're going to see more storms, especially in the afternoon, as that drier air pushes southward. Maybe a couple of healthy storms as well for your Wednesday. Those dew points, yuck. 78 the low tonight, an uncomfortable night, but at least quiet and back to typical summer weather. 92 the high, partly sunny and hot. 92 the high, and that heat index at about 102. Rain chance at about 20 to 30%, 40, 50% on Wednesday. Maybe a lingering shower along the coast early Thursday, but less humid into Thursday night, Friday morning, pushing the upper 60s. We'll hope for a 68 or 69. I'll take 70 because the dew point out there right now,
it's nasty. It sure is. Right. Thank you, Rob.